Wreck My Podcast!
Don't run away from this one, or your head might explode. We kick off Man Month with the 80s dystopian film that reminds us Arnold will always be Arnold. Will it wreck the 80s?
Wreck My Podcast!
Welcome to the Wreck My Podcast, where today we're talking about The Running Man. I don't know if there's an article there or not, but it's something with Arnold Schwarzenegger from 1987. I'm here with my guest. Here was Sub-Zero. Now he's just plain Zero. It's Cam.
Guess again.
Guess again. I had the shirt, and then you effed it up. Speaking of shirts, barfing won't show on his shirt. It's Joe.
I'll be back.
Yes, and then don't touch that dial. I'm your host, Jordan. Did you know that was Frank Zappa's kid?
No.
That said, don't touch that dial.
Really? He played one of the child soldiers?
Yeah, pretty much. His name is like Dweezil Zappa or something.
What's his real name? Is Dweezil.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
it's terrible.
Do you think it's a contractual obligation that anytime Arnold's in a movie, he has to say, I'll be back?
Well, no. So I'll explain to you because he also said, to hell with you,
Yeah.
which is from Conan.
Yeah.
They said a bunch of things from other Arnold movies, and I'll explain to you why I think they did it when we get into it. I'll just tell you now.
Come on.
So
I'm right
this-
here.
So
Kill me.
do it
now.
Do it now.
Kill me. I'm right here.
So this had a 64%.
Sorry.
Oh, it's 420 right now.
Oh, nice.
This had a 64% critic response and a 60% audience response.
Way too high.
Now the critics, the accolade that almost all these critics gave this movie was great satire on 80s action films. My question is, do you think this was actually satirical?
No.
Because they were using a lot of other
Other tropes.
and taglines from
Yeah.
other Arnold movies and stuff. So I'm like, was this supposed to be a satire? Because there was nothing there that made me think, oh, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, satire.
No
No,
one would
definitely not.
ever cast Arnold to play someone witty enough to pull off a satire.
Unless it was now, like old Arnold in some movie
Yeah.
where he plays like the Bill Murray in Zombieland type
Right,
deal.
right.
Maybe. You have to be able
Even
to
still.
understand a
I mean,
satirical character.
I think,
Yeah.
I think the fact that Paul Michael Glasser directed this and Steven DeSouza wrote the screenplay
Yeah.
kind of doesn't bode for it being a
No,
satire.
it is
Especially
not a
since Steven
satire.
DeSouza only did Judge Dredd, Street Fighter, Die Hard 2.
No.
And you want to know what? The Flintstones.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
that's funny.
For good effect.
For good measure.
Yeah. But anyway, before...
Can you imagine this with John Goodman?
As Fred Flintstone?
and Rick Moranis is like the friend.
Golden.
Rick Moranis is the love interest.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's make it happen. Running Man 2.
I love it. What were you going to say, Joe?
Wasn't this a Stephen King thing?
So this is a book. This story was based loosely on the book by Richard Bachman called The Running Man, which is Stephen King's pseudonym.
I was wondering
Yeah.
because when it said by Richard Bachman, I was like,
Yes.
I thought this was a Stephen King thing.
It was
Yeah.
not so secret that Stephen
Yeah.
King was writing under the pseudonym Richard Bachman.
Right.
We'll talk about that in a sec. Before we get into our discussion here, first off, Cam was nice enough to bring us a beer worthy of talking about the 1987 classic The Running Man. It is Mickey Mantle's. Oh, just Mickey's.
It's just Mickey's.
Fine malt liquor.
It's fine.
It's fine. I haven't tasted it yet.
It's-
and I've never drank one of these.
I've
Yeah.
never had one either.
Joe, you're not pumped.
Kate is shaking her head over there, not to drink it. Actually, I'm not angry at this at
No.
all. I would drink this and be completely fine with
Yeah,
it.
it's fine. It
It's
is fine.
It is
malt
fine
liquor.
malt liquor.
It is really, really okay.
Yeah, it's the most okayest beer I've ever had.
Yeah, we got it from this new pop-up shop that opened out
Yeah.
here in LA. It's like really, really fancy. I don't know if you guys have heard of it yet. It's called
Pop up
7-Eleven.
Mickey's.
Yeah, it's
No,
called
just
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven. Yeah.
And it was only $2 for a tall boy.
I told
Right
Cam,
around the budget of this movie.
Yes.
I told Cam what we should do is we should either send the Drinking Alone with Friends or the Brew interviews like a message saying, hey, we're sending you a box of some great beers from out here, so keep a heads up, and just put one Mickey's in there. So when
would
they
be
open it, it's
awesome.
just like
a Mickey's and a
"Aw."
Four Loko.
Yeah. We have to
And a Cobra.
send a real and a Cobra?
Yeah.
No,
Not a real
a King
Cobra.
Cobra.
No, like Cobra, the malt liquor.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all malt liquors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
King Cobra, Colt 45,
Yep.
a
Yeah.
Mickey's,
Throw 'em all in
a
there.
Steel Reserve.
Yep.
It'd be great. It'd be great.
An OE. Ooh, could we find Old English anywhere?
Oh,
I'm
I've seen
sure
it.
you
I've
can,
seen it
yeah.
around here. Yeah.
I haven't had
in
an
fact,
OE since
I
I was
saw it at
16.
Bevmo. It was
Did
at
you?
Bevmo. Yeah, I just saw it last weekend.
Okay.
when
I
was
haven't
there.
had OE since I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
So what I was saying before, off air, I was like, do you think Disney was upset when Mickey's came out as Mickey's? To answer your question, Mickey's did come out afterwards. You said you thought Mickey's
Oh,
came
I
out
thought it came
before
out before.
Disney.
Okay, so it came out
Mickey's started being made in 1962.
after 1962.
Wow, that's the year my dad was born.
Which is funny because I feel like that this beer is way older than that.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm wrong.
It just tastes older.
It does taste older. This exact
had-
can was made in 1962.
They had to give the hippies something to drink while they protest.
I guess, yeah. So before we get into our discussion, we're gonna do some trailer time real quick.
Let's do
So you're gonna hear a lot of weird synthy sounds and the bad version of the trailer guy. Here.
civilians. They just want some food.
They just want some food. I will not shoot unarmed homeless. I can't speak.
In the far future,
Here we go.
bring you to 2018.
It was actually set in 2019, so we're
Wasn't
living-
it 2017?
2017, and then it said
2017.
18 months later when he was
Oh,
in
okay.
prison, and then
Okay.
2019.
Okay.
So here we go.
So it's today.
Yes.
In the year 2017, an innocent man accused of a crime has a choice. Hard time or prime time.
Sensational. Perfect contestant. I want him.
He must pay or play the running man.
On your mark.
I'll be back.
Go!
The highest rated TV show in history.
Guess they want us to stay.
It's a game between life and death.
Give you a lift?
Arnold Schwarzenegger is the running man. He's playing for a prize. The prize is his life.
How about the light?
The running man.
So two things. First off, that bodysuit and the luge thing just reminded me of Cool Runnings a bunch. Second thing is when he's running at the airport.
And he's got the white pants on?
Yeah, totally a different guy because Arnold cannot run that fast.
No.
It doesn't even look like him.
No. That trailer, 4 shots of him rolling.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yep. And also, I will never respect Arnold Schwarzenegger with a beard again, holding an I-beam.
Oh, no.
I don't like that facial hair. He looks so gross.
What about a Q-beam?
Sure.
Is there a movie with him that doesn't have one-liners?
No, that's the only thing he can perform.
There is. Hang on. There's got to be a movie.
Stick around.
Stick around.
Throws the knife and it gets stuck in the guy in the wall. Stick around.
There's got to be a movie he's in that doesn't have a one-liner.
No, there's not, because it's the only kind of lines he can deliver.
One at a time.
One at a time. That's it. They like
No, there's
he
got to
goes
be a newer movie.
he does some punchies and he does some rolling and then they go, Arnold, say this, and he stands up and he goes, it's not a two-man, right? Like that's it.
You're right. There's. Oh man.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Is he in Demolition Man?
I don't remember.
No, I don't think so.
that's-
What's the movie where he
that's-
rips the arms off the guy, and he rips the arms off the guy in the elevator, and then he's also like, "Welcome to the party, Richter." What's that? What's that?
I don't know.
Movie? I
don't
well, no,
know.
I watched it. and I always thought it was Demolition Man, and then
Total Recall?
maybe it's. I don't remember. Anyway, write in and let me know where he says, "Welcome to the party, Richter."
Hey, do you guys remember that he actually got elected?
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, it was a weird part of California
That was the Running
history.
Man. So Running Man came out November 13th, 1987. Like I said, based loosely. And when I say loosely on the book by the same name, Madison started and finished The Running Man yesterday after we watched this movie. She
Like the
read
book?
the whole book because I own it. The only thing that's similar, she said, in the book to the movie is that his name is Ben Richards.
That's it.
That's it. He wasn't imprisoned. he willingly went and signed up for the Running Man because his child and wife, yes, he has a child and wife.
In the book.
In the book. His kid was sick. And the only way to
they
make
needed
money
money.
when you lived in the ghettos was going and signing up for these crazy games that were televised.
For the super rich.
Yes, so he signed up, and the game is played completely different. You're not against the stalkers. You're against the world. They give you a 12-hour head start, and then you have like 3 days or 4 days where you have to not be caught by civilians. And if a civilian catches you and turns you in, or they're allowed to kill you, you lose the game and you die.
Oh, wow.
So you're running away from everyone kind of thing.
Not just these people that
Not just
are
these
hired
people.
to murder you.
Yeah.
I like that concept way
And
more.
there's not
It's way more intense.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
not really an underground. There kind of is, but not really. And the book has a not happy ending. So nothing to do at all the same with the book with this movie. Like so loosely based on that it could barely even be based on it.
Well,
anymore.
that's excellent. I'm glad
Yeah.
that they took so many liberties with this.
Yeah, so much. They
From
just
a
took the name
master
Ben
of
Richards.
literature. And we're
Yeah.
like, you know what? This name's good.
I don't know. Richard Bachman only wrote 2 books.
yeah.
what was the other one?
I forget.
The Shining?
Thinner? No, Thinner might have been the other one that he wrote as
Squid
Richard
Fist.
Bachman. Squid Fist, yes. Anyway, this had a $27 million budget.
Okay.
It did gross $38 million.
Of course it did. It was 87 with him in it.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone wanted to see Arnold in the 80s. This was filmed pretty much all in California. Sony Plaza, that tunnel that they use all the time, and a few other spots in California is where this all was filmed.
Yeah, it just looks like it was on a giant soundstage.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was directed by Paul Michael Glasser, who played Starsky in Starsky and Hutch, as well as the reboot where he plays himself in that. So he directed Kazam, was really the only other movie
Sick.
this guy directed of note.
Nice.
And then we have Arnold Schwarzenegger, who played Ben Richards. Of course, everyone knows Arnold as Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The governor.
The governor of California. I mean, Terminator, Conan, Predator, Kindergarten Cop,
just goes
Jingle
on
all the
and
way.
on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a million
Infidelitous
things.
husband
all the
Yeah,
extraordinaire.
exactly. Yeah, hide your
Maids.
Yeah. Then we have Maria Conchita Alonso,
Nice.
who played Amber Mendez, the female, like the only female in
She's
this
a
movie.
terrible actor.
You want to know what she's going to be in, though, in 2019?
Avatar.
Joe brought this up.
The Running Man?
No, this last week. The Island.
Really?
Ah.
She's going to be in that. She was also in Predator 2, the one not with Arnold.
My
the
uncle's
one-
in that.
Oh, really? As a
Danny
Predator?
Glover?
No, he's the
He was
plays
Danny Glover.
He plays another thug.
Gary
He-
Busey?
Yeah, Gary Busey. He's Gary. My uncle is Gary Busey.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. No, my uncle that died in Lost Boys also plays like a thug on a train in Predator 2.
Nice.
What do you think Thanksgiving is like with Gary Busey?
Oh, it's got to be so many teeth.
Yeah. He probably eats the whole turkey
Yeah.
in one bite.
Yeah. There are 365 different ways to see an elephant. That's my favorite quote from him ever.
He's so crazy. We also have Yaphet Kotto, who played William Laughlin. He was like the sole African-American gentleman in this movie.
Yeah.
He was Parker in Alien. I knew I recognized him from
Yeah.
something, and I had to look it up, and I was like, that's right. He's one of the crew in Alien.
Yeah.
That's why I know him. We have Marvin J. McIntyre, who played Harold Weiss, the guy with the glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, the hacker.
Yeah, the hacker dude. He's in Short Circuit.
18, 24, 61B.
Well, also he's the worst hacker ever. He had to type in that code in the prison like 25 times to finally get him. Like,
Yeah.
this is your job. Come on.
He's terrible.
Yeah, he's awful. We have Jesse.
Shoot everyone, but not the hacker.
Yeah, we have Jesse Ventura, who played my favorite character, Captain Freedom.
So
was the name.
Good.
Uh,
Such a good name for the body
Yeah,
to play.
another governor, a wrestler. He was in Predator also, and he's in Demolition Man, which won our poll, which means we're watching Demolition
I
Man.
am so stoked that was the dark horse that won. Like,
I just did not see that coming at all.
What was it up against for the last one?
Man of the
Man
House.
of the House.
Oh, yeah,
Which
I so
thought
wanted
was
to
gonna,
watch Man
I
of the House.
thought
I
Man of
voted
the
for
House was
that.
going to get the nostalgia vote.
Yeah.
But man, everyone
We got our
Demolition
Demolition
Man demolished
Yeah, yes.
every round. It was crazy.
I'm so pumped.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, go follow us on Instagram where we do polls sometimes.
So you
about
can
movies,
vote and see
you can
which
vote.
we're gonna watch.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have Professor Toro Tanaka, who played Sub-Zero.
Okay.
I wanted to bring him up because he was Rushmore from Three Ninjas, which is an episode we've done in the past.
Oh, shit.
right.
He was also a wrestler from like the 60s to 80s.
I don't
as
remember that.
Professor Toro Tanaka.
Okay.
He played that character. He was in Pee-wee's Big Adventure as the bodyguard.
No.
Yeah, that's him.
bodyguard.
Yeah.
The guy that he chews the black oily gum.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
guy
yeah.
that stole Pee-wee's bike. Quote,
Yeah.
unquote.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So there's that. Did you guys catch Mick Fleetwood in there? The head of the underground is Mick Fleetwood.
Who is Mick Fleetwood?
One of the founding members of Fleetwood,
Fleetwood
Mac. He's the drummer of Fleetwood Mac.
I literally only know Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, so Mick
As most
Fleetwood
people do.
was
Yeah.
the leader of the underground, and he was also the guy at the very beginning that took the collars off of the people that got out of the prison.
Okay.
And did you hear him when he talked to Arnold Schwarzenegger? He goes, "Oh, you're that guy that locked up all my friends and destroyed all my music." So, like, is he playing Mick Fleetwood
Is
in
he?
this movie? Like, what is going on? Because his name in the movie is just Mick.
He
So I'm
must
like,
be.
Maybe.
He's probably playing
Mick
himself.
Fleetwood in 2019.
Yeah, so weird.
Weird.
We have Richard Dawson, who played Killian,
Yeah.
host of Family Feud
Yeah.
from
Right,
the 60s
right.
and 70s.
Which is great.
I mean, come on. Also, his last role ever before he died.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe this movie killed him.
It did. It really killed. That whole scene at the end where he gets launched and then
Through
exploded
his own
was
billboard?
real.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
that was
died.
real. He
It was
died.
practical.
And then finally, Kurt Fuller was in this movie. He plays the executive. Kurt Fuller plays the same character in everything.
Yeah.
Most people know him from Wayne's World.
Yeah.
He's this like sleazy guy in Wayne's World, but he plays that same archetype in every show he's
Right.
in. So yeah, that's that. Let's talk about. Have you guys watched this movie before? Was this your first view?
I had never seen it.
Okay.
Yeah, this was my first time as
See,
well.
this is my okay. I had caught about 30 minutes of it on TV as a teenager.
Okay.
but this was my first full viewing, and I've read the book a long time ago. My next question is, what did you think of it?
I hated it. I hated everything about it. Every single thing.
Did you really?
Yes.
I thought it was so bad it was good. I enjoyed myself the whole. I was laughing so hard.
For me, I watched it with this facial expression the entire time.
and for our audio only listeners, it looks like he's taking a dump while also seeing a bee flying into his nostril.
Yes, 100%. That's 100% accurate.
Basically, it looks like Shrek when he sees the little play,
Oh yeah,
the thing
yeah.
that's playing on the thing when they
Yeah.
first get to far away.
far away, far quads
Yeah,
area.
whatever it's called.
You
Yeah.
were really struggling through that show.
Because it was the same face, but I couldn't describe it for
Yeah.
audio listeners.
Duplock?
Duloc.
Duloc.
Yeah.
So anyway, Cam
So-
doesn't like this movie.
I hated it, and my girlfriend was doing law school homework though, like most of the time, and she had like her headphones on because she was like, "This movie's too explodey. I can't pay attention."
There were it's like Michael Bay guys.
Yeah, it was so much.
Yeah,
and so
start here.
I walked over and I gave her a quick recap, right?
Yeah.
Like I gave her the rundown, and she goes, "So it's
The Running
basically
Man down?
Yeah, I gave her the Running Man down, and which is my favorite sex move. And she looks at me. She goes, "Okay, so this movie sounds like a 7-year-old came up with an idea for a movie." Right? It was like, there's a guy in a helicopter. There's people down there. He wants
Yeah.
to shoot him, but he doesn't. But guess what?
They have no weapons.
But guess what? There's a game show. It's like Jeopardy, but people die.
Yeah.
And she goes, but then also he finds people underground, and there's TV, and they change the TV, and then they go in and kill everybody, and he wins. That is the movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that was the plot breakdown.
And so Clara reiterated all of that verbatim to
Yeah.
me, and I was laughing so hard. I got more entertainment from the 30 seconds of her just talking crap about the movie
Man,
she didn't see than watching the whole film.
I thought you would actually enjoy this film for the pure fact of how schlocky it is.
Here's the thing that I hated the most about it is that it was a futuristic movie that's supposed to take place in 2019, and it looked 100% like the 80s.
Can we just talk about all 80s movies that go to the future have all 80s tech? Just you can either
Yes.
speak at it or it's more flashy.
Yeah,
that's
it's a
all it
different
is.
color.
It's
That's
yeah,
it.
it's still 80s tech.
And what about the light bright suit raper guy?
oh,
in his
I have a
underpants.
lot.
Light bright suit. That's so funny. That's what you call it.
I
That's,
have-
what
I
I thought of.
Yeah.
I have so much to talk about that guy.
Oh, okay, cool.
Dynamo. I mean, can we get a wrestler? Dynamo. Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the full light bright suit and just his underpants.
Yeah. Also, the effect of him shooting his electricity was the
Amazing.
same effect they used for Luke Skywalker
Yes.
in Return of the Jedi
Yes.
when he's being force shocked.
Yeah.
Because it looked exactly
looked
the same. It was like
exactly
the,
the same.
the weird purplish, and also Ivan Ooze.
Yes.
I'm so glad they've updated the electricity
It looks
technology.
so much
Oh,
better.
it's so much better now. Yeah. Joe,
I hated this movie.
Joe, did you find any enjoyment in this movie or not really?
I could have gone without seeing
Wow. So I'm the only one who actually enjoyed watching this movie.
That's why I got us Mickey's.
Well then,
This Mickey's is better than the movie.
so my next question of did it wreck the 80s for you?
No, because it was
'Cause that's the
2017.
80s.
I was alive for the 80s for about 6 months.
Yeah, I was for 1 month. So like, it
I
good.
was for
almost a year, right?
9 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like this didn't wreck the 80s. I feel like this is typical 80s action film.
It is an 80s action film.
It's true.
Which is when people like
then,
Ebert
like-
was saying great satirical film on 80s action movies. No, this was paint by numbers 80s action
Ebert
film.
was too smart for the general populace, right? And for these things. So for him to say, like, Roger and Ebert, like, 2 thumbs up, this movie was a satire.
Yeah.
It's just because obviously there's stuff in here that's, like, way too tongue-in-cheek, like, funny. Then you would be like, yeah, this would be a
There's
satire.
no way that
but
it's
it's not.
serious.
All right,
It's not.
Cam. What's a better 80s action film?
Die Hard. 100%.
Die Hard. Die Hard.
100%. Because that still holds
100%.
up to today.
Die Hard is actually good.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my dad on the way over here. I was like, I'm going to talk about this stupid movie with a million one-liners in it. And I was like, at least Die Hard, when he had his one-liners, there was, like, context.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
that's what made the one-liners good.
And one of his one-liners, because he had a few in there, but one wasn't even a line he said. He wrote it on the dead body.
Yeah, like ho ho ho. Now I have a machine
now I
gun.
have a machine gun. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not a one-liner. That's menacing.
Yeah,
'Cause
that is
it's on
menacing.
a dead
That
body.
is that is context, right? Like
Yeah.
for the whole movie. That's why those one-liners work. And then that movie to have people try and replicate the Die Hard like dynamic over and over and over.
Yeah.
and it's gonna fall flat because they're not using context. They're like, oh,
Well-
he said yippee ki yay, mother. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
You could put a bark there or whatever.
bark.
Sorry. But that is the quote. So
It is the quote. I can't fault you for that.
and like that's good, but then people try to replicate the yippee-ki-yay line in other movies, but it doesn't work without the context, because if you don't have Hans Gruber saying, you stupid American, or whatever, you're John Wayne, and he says
Yeah.
yippee-ki-yay, like, it's perfect.
But here's
Yeah.
the thing, is that the guy who wrote this movie is the guy who wrote Die Hard.
I don't care. I don't care. It's like he gave up, because he was
Yeah,
like...
this was near the end of his run.
He was like, Die Hard was successful because of the one-liners. Not
Yeah.
Die Hard was successful because we were dealing with terrorism and the
Yeah.
lone limping hero, which
And
makes
Bruce
people...
Willis.
Yeah.
Yes, we had the limping hero.
So here's a question. What is the best 80s action film starring Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Ooh.
Terminator.
Did Predator come out in the 80s?
Terminator's good. Predator did come out in the 80s.
The
We
first
have
Terminator.
Conan, Terminator. You don't like T2?
I don't like... Who directed
T2
it?
was 90s.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You don't like
I
James
hate
Cameron.
every
T2
James
was
Cameron
90s
movie.
anyways.
Oh, you're right. It was 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that doesn't matter. So yeah, Terminator, Conan, Predator, The Running Man. What else did he do in the 80s?
A lot.
I'm drawing a blank.
Terminator, he doesn't have any lines.
Don't care.
Yes,
that's
he
why,
does.
That's why his
Are you
act-
Sarah Connor?
That's why it's good. Is because he's menacing and hulking and terrifying.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Right?
It's true.
And once he starts talking, you're like, dude.
yeah.
Terminator is definitely the answer. I
Yeah.
would put Predator as number 2.
Predator's number 2. There's a lot of one-liners, but now I think that movie is a tongue-in-cheek movie. Like, I feel like that one is more wink, wink, nudge, nudge when it comes to all the one-liners.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
because
I
they're
would
making
agree.
a play
'Cause
on.
I feel like they're making
whole
fun of
science
Rambo a
fiction and
little
Rambo,
bit. And I
yeah.
don't know if Rambo came out before or not, but when I watched
did.
it,
Before.
I
It definitely
definitely
did.
Because when I watched it, I go, oh, this is like a funny knockoff of Rambo, and they kind of know it, but they're throwing an alien in there for kicks
Yeah.
and giggles kind of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, I said
Kicks and
kicks
giggles. Look at you go.
I know how to edit
No
myself.
barks for Jordan.
All right, so let's get into a segment here.
Okay.
Oh yes, it's time for Jordan to explain the movie quickly.
so good.
All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
In 2019, the world is controlled by media and how quickly it can be consumed. America is ran by corporations and advertisements. No one is paying attention to what really matters because they might miss out what brand new thing is coming to their screen. Reality stars and pseudo-celebrities are now the royalty. Oh, was I supposed to be describing the movie? Oh, yeah, it had Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, and there was a bunch of one-liners, and it's pretty much the Hunger Games. So,
Hunger Games and like Death Proof.
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of funny that in 2019 we're like television rules and reality
Yeah.
stars, and like we have
At
a
least they
president.
got something right.
Well, we have a president that's like a reality star
Yeah.
guy. Like it's like okay, they kind of knocked it on the nose
Yeah,
in
they
that
got.
aspect.
Yeah, they
of
got
it.
that part. They got
Yeah.
the dystopian future.
Yeah, because when
like,
I started
accurate.
writing things,
Yeah.
I'm like, well, there's a lot of similarities to how the world is, like media is consumed now and how media was consumed in the movie.
Yeah, for
Maybe
sure.
not to
Maybe
the
not using
sadistic
cassettes
sense.
anymore,
Yeah.
but
like what is it with people in the 80s? Like, cassettes are here forever.
I know.
The only thing I will say,
even Laserdisc was a thing in the 80s.
And it was so
no, but
way
here's the
better.
thing. Here's
Yeah,
the
and
thing
it was-
why
it was
I
more
will give it.
expensive, but still.
Here's the thing why I will give it a pass. This is a dystopian movie where in the 80s the economy collapses, starts collapsing.
so technology didn't
So
advance.
technology stops advancing because we don't have the economy to continue research
Homeboy
and
shoots
development.
electricity out of
I
his
know.
body.
I'm
Light
trying-
bright suit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give some type of like.
There's no reprieve for
All
this
right,
film.
all right. Well, let's get into
Sick chainsaw though.
It
was
Oh
sick.
yeah. Buzzsaw. He was cool. Let's get
Yeah.
into the
Oh,
plot breakdown.
He got
here.
his dick cut.
He did. Let's get ready to break it down. This is the plot breakdown.
That was
That's
such a
sick.
build-up.
That's the one I called disappointment plot breakdown. So, here we are. We're going to talk about the plot. First thing, that TriStar Pictures opening.
Yes, so good.
Oh my
So
god.
good.
You know what's funny is that TriStar produced this movie, right? And then Sony, it's filmed at Sony Plaza, and then Sony bought TriStar later.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, craziness.
I missed that like slow motion 80s running horse so bad.
Oh, me too. That's like, it just makes me think.
Is it a
yes.
Pegasus?
It is a
TriStar?
Pegasus.
Yeah.
Is TriStar still a thing?
No, they got
No.
bought by Sony.
Yeah,
so
Sony
just said that.
they may,
Yeah.
they may still be producing things under the TriStar banner, but I don't think that it really exists on its own anymore.
I missed that because it was so magnificent. That was the best part of the film.
I
Yeah.
always confused TriStar and Columbia because they had very
That
similar
Yes,
openings.
they did. So we start with the way everyone loves to start a movie, which only works for Star Wars, is
Up
an
scrolling exposition.
up-scrolling text. So let me
Yeah.
tell you what it says here.
Which was designed by Sega.
Yeah, pretty much. So by 2017, the world economy has collapsed. Food, natural resources, and oil are in short supply. A police state divided into paramilitary zones rules with an iron hand. Not an iron fist,
But
an
hand.
iron hand. Television is controlled by the state, and a sadistic game show called The Running Man has become the most popular program in history. All art, music, and communications are censored. No dissent is tolerated, and yet a small resistance movement has managed to survive underground. When high-tech gladiators are not enough to suppress the people's yearning for freedom, dramatic pause, more direct methods become necessary. So, we then enter into a scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger refuses to fire on a group of, it was like 1,500 people.
Yeah.
Unarmed people.
Yeah.
And by
I like
not
how it knew they were all unarmed.
yeah,
Yeah, with,
he
like, how
somehow
they
knew.
scanned.
Which it's in Bakersfield.
Yes, it's the Bakersfield massacre.
Yeah, the
Yeah, it was
Bakersfield massacre.
Everyone in Bakersfield was there.
Yeah.
It was
all
the,
1,500.
it was the most. It was the most notoriety Bakersfield has ever gotten.
Yeah, seriously. So he refuses to do it. They knock him out. They still shoot anyway, and then pin it on him. So now
Yes.
everyone thinks that he's this crazy mass murderer.
Yeah.
and he goes to prison for 18 months.
Where he is a steel worker.
he is a steel worker with a beard.
Yes, and it's gross, and it
It-
looks like pubes.
It does. It also looks like red hair for
yeah,
some reason.
red pubes.
Yeah.
And he straight up looks like Andre the Giant surrounded by everyone else because
Yeah,
he's
he's
just like
so
towering
big
and
and
bigger than
Oh,
everyone.
yeah, he's so big.
Yeah.
So they mount a prison break, and they make it, but one dude has his head explode, which I
Yeah.
guess that in all other countries except America, they edit that part out, and they also edit the chainsaw part out later because they deem it too violent. But hey, yippee-ki-yay, mother effer. This is
Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
We love our violence.
We love violence.
And we love exploding heads and the talking heads. So we're
Kiss to say
introduced.
fa 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 better.
We're introduced to the game show on ICS. So ICS is the company that owns the television, I guess.
Okay.
What does ICS stand for?
Internet Security Combine.
I thought it was International Cable Service.
oh, it's ICS.
Yeah,
I thought you
ICS.
said ISC.
I
Sorry.
bet you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, International Cable Service.
Yeah, I figured
Yeah.
that'd be like a stupid 80s thing.
Intelligent
oh.
carnivore
Ah.
security.
You. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's where you just hire velociraptors as your
You almost
security
sounded
service.
like the
Jurassic
the
World.
weird Skeksis from Dark Crystal. You know, like the weird like bird people that goes like.
No, because I've never seen Dark Crystal.
Oh, Jordan,
Hang out for
hey,
Netflix.
I've
It's
seen,
Claire and I watched the first 3 episodes of the new
I've
one.
seen Labyrinth. Do I really need to see Dark Crystal?
Dark Crystal is the first movie ever that is all puppets and
that
not
Jim
people.
Henson did, yeah.
Yeah, and it's so cocaine fueled.
Oh, I bet. I bet. Where was I? I totally lost my spot now. We're too much
ICS.
Dark Crystal.
Bakersfield.
Oh yeah. Okay, here we go. Richards tries to leave town with Amber, but they're caught. I love that he's wearing a World Jim Venice shirt.
Yes.
And also that super touristy outfit going to Hawaii, just like so obnoxious.
Yeah, they were like, "What are we gonna do? Oh, make you a stereotype."
Yeah, exactly.
Also, Arnold in white pants though, like, was hilarious.
Oh, it was hilarious. And also when she's like, "I get airsick," he's like, "You won't be able to tell on this shirt."
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
That was a good line. I like that. So now, because he got caught, he's going to be on The Running Man. Scene here that I loved is where Richard Dawson's character Killian, he picks up the phone and goes, "Operator, get me the president's assistant." So dumb.
Hey,
So
if you're the
freaking
most
dumb.
popular thing in the world, you can get.
Yeah, I guess.
direct contact
And I guess
to the
if the
president.
television
the
companies
red telephone.
rule
If
the
Kanye
world-
can go to the White House,
Yeah.
like, it's very 2019.
Yeah, it's
That's
true.
true.
It's true. It
Yeah.
really is.
That's true.
There's too much truth in this movie to feel comfortable
Unfortunately.
with.
Right.
Yeah. Second thing here that I thought was funny is that you get a court-appointed theatrical agent rather than a lawyer.
Right.
Thought that was a fun little
It's a little
minutia
nod.
thing that was in there,
Which is
was
something that's
good.
not too far off.
Yeah. So we have also they mentioned the Running Man home game. How?
I don't know, but I'm in.
What? It's just what?
I wonder if that was something real they actually wanted to
Market
Come out-
and sell,
mark
like
out
if
and come
this was
out
super
with, yeah.
successful.
Maybe. So before Richards gets put in the running game, we get some exposition here to explain how the running man works. The running game. I just call it the running game. You have to go through 4 zones in 3 hours and not be killed by these people called stalkers.
Right.
And it's usually 1 stalker per zone. But
Right.
as it goes on, they start throwing multiple stalkers
Because
at
they're
them.
like, oh man, this guy's intense.
Yes, because he actually did good.
Yeah.
So we have.
I mean, did they think that though? They put his odds at 100 to 1.
That's true.
well, that was outside. that was the people outside.
That
Like
was
he
for
didn't
the
just
people.
kill 3 stalkers, but still,
But to be fair,
$200 bet, you get 20 grand. Let's do this.
yeah,
Yeah.
which would be dope.
Yeah, seriously. So we have the "I'll be back" line, but right before he gets sent off down
Right.
the Cool Runnings luge. Feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme, get on up, it's Running Man time.
That
So
was the best part about that luge. My favorite thing about it is that there's
the net caught them at the end.
no, that when he's going through the luge, there's like a mirror.
Yeah, what is
That, it's like one of those mirrors that's like in garages, so you can see around the corner. It's like one of those. It's like right there. It's like, what the hell is this? What?
Yeah.
Why does
Yeah.
he need a mirror?
like a mini mart mirror.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
So
what
they know
is-
you're not stealing.
No, my favorite part is when they shoot out and they're going a million miles an hour, and this net just
just regular net.
gracefully catches them. So stupid. Also, the girl says, spoiler alert, she gets put in the game later.
Yeah.
But the girl says, "I get sick, like air sick and car sick and all that." I thought they were gonna have her barf after being
No,
through.
so
Not even-
good down the
I'm like, they
luge.
could, they could. Like, you set yourself up for this.
They shoot her
moment.
down the luge, and then she just like
It's fine.
gets harassed and
Yeah.
then shows up.
It's fine.
Yeah.
She gets harassed by people from like the Warriors.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, they're like clinking their bottles.
Yeah, like what the heck is this?
Yeah.
Anyway, so we have the first stalker. Oh yeah, and by the way, 2 of Arnold's friends from prison end up going out there with him.
Yeah,
too.
they're like, yo, you don't need to go by yourself. Go with your friends.
Go with your friends, which he actually agreed to go on this to save his friends.
Yes.
But then the twist was, hey, we're sending your friends with you. Now, first stalker is Sub-Zero.
Sick.
It's
Sick
pretty
name.
much Mr. Freeze.
Mr.
as
Freeze,
an Asian.
but hockey themed.
Hockey Asian
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze.
Yes.
Which is probably the idea that Arnold got for playing Mr. Freeze. He was like,
100%.
I want to be
Yeah.
that. He was. They kill Mr. Freeze, Stalker Sub-Zero, with barbed wire around the neck. What
Yeah.
did he say? Don't lose your head or something?
Yeah, he's like, don't lose your head.
Or something like that.
And also, what the heck does the line? Here's Sub-Zero, now Plane Zero. What is that? What is
Nothing.
that?
It means nothing.
Wouldn't it, what like when you write this? What like let's try and think about this.
They
real
had to
quick.
think of a one-liner.
Let's try and think about what do they mean by like So what could Sub-Zero mean, and what could Plain Zero mean?
Yeah.
Like Sub-Zero is like Cool Zero, and now he's just like Plain Zero.
Now he's just a zero.
Now
He's just a zero, just like zero, like nothing. Like,
Yeah, there's no other zero.
it's just such a dumb freaking line. I can't get over it, but I love it so much.
Yeah.
I just want to keep saying it.
It's so bad. And that goes back to my rhetoric, like where that guy is trying to just push
Yeah.
one-liners, and
Yeah.
it's not going to work when it's terrible.
It
Yeah.
doesn't work when it's forced.
No,
No.
it doesn't. So now we get the next zone, which has 2 stalkers. We have Buzzsaw. Yes, he uses chainsaws.
Yeah.
And Dynamo, that's the light bright guy we're
Yep.
talking
Who
about.
sings and makes lightning.
Dynamo is electrified opera singer who is pretty much just a wrestling like character.
Yeah.
It's so bad. My question is, so they go chase after them, right? And Dynamo has a cool little car.
Yeah,
and
the car's pretty cool.
Buzzsaw has a
Motorcycle.
Now, they're chasing him around. All of a sudden, Richards tries to get out of the way and like runs into this warehouse. How did they set up that area so quickly for it to be like a battleground? That doesn't make sense to me.
Unless they had those rooms, right?
Like
set up for,
designated
like,
But how would
stages
they
for
have known
each.
he was going to run into it? Unless the stalkers are hurting them there. They could have been doing
They
that.
might.
I think they had, like Cam was saying, they had each different stage set up for whatever that stalker's like gimmick was.
All right.
It would
I
make
guess.
sense why the what's his name, the fire guy.
Blowtorch.
Shit.
Hang on.
Flame Man.
Flame
like
Man.
that.
I wrote it down.
Fireball.
Fireball.
That's what it was.
Fireproof.
Dumbest name for a blowtorch
But
guy
it
ever.
Not to
explains
mention
why
it was Jim Brown.
Yeah, it was
like
Jim
the,
Brown.
the leading rusher of the 80s.
Yeah, yeah.
It explains why the fire guy has just random drums filled with gasoline in his
Right,
Yeah.
right. And
stage.
just a box of dynamite.
This was like a video game. They were like video game stages.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Like Arnold runs by and he looks down and there's a box of dynamite and he's like, "Doodle-doodle," like picks
Yeah.
it up and he's like, I'm gonna need this later.
So
It
dumb.
auto saves, the music gets darker.
Yeah. So dumb.
And he's like, oh, boss fight.
So Buzzsaw ends up killing one of the friends, but he gets taken out by chainsaw to the crotch.
Yeah,
which is a
straight up the
brutal-
gooch. Yeah.
brutal- But then Arnold says he had to split as his one-liner.
Yep.
You didn't cut him in half.
No.
You cut him in the crotch.
Yeah, you cut his gooch.
Yeah.
You
So
give him a little
you
gooch
don't
tap.
get to use that one-liner.
No.
No.
What's a better one?
A better one would have been like, oh, what happened to Buzzsaw? And be like, I don't know. He was nuts.
You know what? That is better. Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
He's in an itty situation.
An itty?
Well, I don't want to say the other word. Just so you have to place in
I
a
see.
bark.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Itty.
An itty situation.
This is a family-friendly version.
Can we start a family-friendly rap group?
Dude.
The itty group?
Yeah, the Itty group, and then we could play like like Christian summer camp.
That's all we get booked.
Yeah.
Now, next, we have Dynamo. And what happens when Dynamo starts coming towards you is, of course, Ride of the Valkyries starts playing because he's an opera man.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes.
and I don't think we'll get a copyright strike for this because I'm pretty sure this is public domain.
It's public domain.
Yeah. Do. Okay, so Dynamo starts coming at you.
Yeah.
And
He's Daniel Bryan.
yeah, he's Daniel Bryan. And he is chasing Arnold and he flips his truck. And that's all that happens. That's how he's beat. He beats
Arnold,
himself.
Arnold, but this is supposed to be like a really important part about our Arnold's character,
Yes.
right? Because in the beginning we see he's like, I'm not gonna shoot civilians,
Yeah.
right?
No
and
one
then
unarmed.
the guy's like rolled over and he has this like steel pipe, and you think he's gonna like drive it through his head, right? And he goes. He's like, not even I'm gonna hit like a helpless person
Yeah.
or like something stupid.
I won't kill a helpless man or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah. And then I don't know, Light Bright Dynamo decides like 20 minutes later to try and rape the girl.
Yeah, pretty much. You can take the rape out of Dynamo, but you can't take the Dynamo out of rape. So yeah.
Maybe you should start writing movies like this, George,
I
because that's
should.
like a perfect line that would
Perfect
be in
line.
here.
I liked it also.
You can't take the rape out of Dynamo. It would sound accurate.
I love the girl Amber. Oh yeah, by the way, the girl Amber is now in the game with them.
Oh, yeah.
She
She's now part of
I
it.
forgot to say, she starts realizing that the television people are censoring things, and so she goes
Yeah.
to try and find the raw footage of the Bakersfield massacre, and she gets caught. So
Yeah.
she gets sent into the game with them. I like later that she goes, when he's like, "Are you scared of me?" or whatever, Dynamo says that, and she's like, "Why would I be scared of a dickless guy with a battery up his butt?"
Yeah, and he
or
goes,
something.
"I'll show you,
I'll show you, dickless."
and
Yeah.
then tries to take advantage of her.
I kind of think he's dickless, though. There's nothing under that suit.
I mean, he
There's
was
There's
wearing
a light bright.
Yeah, there's a light.
It's one little like a light
one
bright
little one,
pegs.
like a little red one that's like all menacing. It's like HAL 9000, but like it's like HAL 4.5.
Yeah. So by this point, Amber has the code to be able to disrupt the uplink now.
Right.
So they
Which she
go-
gets from the worst hacking terminal ever
Oh,
from
yeah.
that guy.
Yeah.
It's
And he
it
dies.
looks like a koosh ball.
Uh-huh.
And then he accesses like a string from the koosh ball and he starts screaming numbers at her and he's like, "Remember this!"
Yeah.
And like if someone was screaming "Remember this" at me, I wouldn't remember it.
All
those
He's like,
numbers-
remember these numbers.
It was
And it's
so
not
many
just-
numbers.
It's not just a few numbers. It was like 12 numbers.
it was like 12 numbers and one of them had a letter in it.
Yeah. It was. Now I was happy that at least.
Wait, hang on. Was it
Yeah.
1824 61B 1717? And then what was the next
Like
one?
23 or something
Something
like that. Yeah.
I think I
How do
got
you remember that?
because I was like, "Oh, I want to remember these numbers. I wanted
Remember
to see
this.
I wanted to see if I could remember it, and I remembered like the first 5 digits, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't know." Like,
But he can't remember the PIN numbers to his debit card.
yeah, I almost said them.
Oh, yeah, that would not be good. Hey, you want to know what's funny?
8008.
A long
Boob.
time ago, my PIN number, when I was watching Scrubs, JD says his PIN number on there, and it was my PIN number. And I was like, dang, JD, way to just tell the world my PIN number.
Yeah.
How random is that?
That's
that was my
bizarre.
PIN number I picked. It was
That's
that
super
one.
bizarre.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, going back here, I was happy that when he was hacking into it, he didn't go, "It's a Linux-based system," like the girl in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
So dumb. Okay, so we now find out that previously we heard about these winners from the Running Man, and they're living in Maui. They're living
they're
their
having
life.
the life.
They're
It's-
having their
that
life.
guy's got 2 chicks.
Yeah, two
Yeah.
chicks, because when you win the Running Man, they set you up for life. You get
Yeah.
to go live out. You're exonerated, and you get to live in Hawaii.
Right, and that makes the show great. It's like, hey, these people can leave. They
Yeah,
can be exonerated.
exactly.
They
Yeah.
can go do their thing. Psych, their corpses.
They're dead. They find Amber and Richards find them dead, and they go, "Are these last year's winners?" And then Fireball, who's now the next stalker, goes,
Yeah.
"They're last year's losers."
yeah, which is so bad.
So bad. Yeah, so Fireball's now chasing them, and Arnold turns him into a fireball.
He does.
Yep.
Fireball's jetpack is sick, though.
It looks way better than the jetpacks in Minority Report.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually did.
Yeah.
Which I'm like,
It looks
this is
great.
how you do
he
a
like
jetpack.
goes down in the middle and like in the middle, and Jim Brown, like one of the greatest running backs in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
Jetpacks with his sick like double striped bleach
Oh,
hair. Like
yes.
that was cool. That was like a quintessential like 80s villain look. It
Yeah,
looked
oh, yeah.
so good.
Yeah, that was great.
Way better than Light Bright Jones.
Oh yeah, Light Bright Jones. So then, do you think that the people in the original Tron movie are just Light Bright Jones Jr.?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, pretty much.
100%.
So then we have Amber and Richards find the underground, and they're gonna use the underground's gonna stage a takeover to take the stuff. But at that moment, we see Jesse Ventura's character, Captain Freedom,
Right.
kill Richards and Amber on TV because
They did like a full weird facial scan and then
Yeah.
digitally put that over stunt doubles.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because that goes so deep into the deep fake stuff that
yeah,
we're
I was just gonna
dealing
say
with
we
now.
have that now of deepfake. Like
Yeah.
that's a thing.
Did you guys see the deep fake of Jim Carrey over?
Yes.
Oh God, what's her name? I love her. She's from in Glow, the main character in Glow.
Allison Brie?
Yes.
Allison Brie.
Yeah, they did Jim Carrey's face on Allison Brie like at Conan.
No.
It is insane.
It is.
Oh man, these
it's-
deep
it's
fake
a-
things are too
Yeah,
much for me.
It's too real.
It's
It
too
is.
real.
It is too real.
It's too much. So anyway, the world thinks that Richards and Amber are dead
Yeah,
now
they
because
deepfake both of
ICS
them,
is
yeah.
trying to save some face. So Richards and Amber go, let's take the underground, let's go, and let's storm ICS.
Did either of you have qualms that it was called the Underground and they were actually underground?
No, because usually the underground is underground.
No, they're not. Like an underground rapper is not physically underground.
Yeah, he's not
But
a mole
that's a
person.
genre.
Yeah, no, it's not a genre. Underground just means that you're like DIY and you're not doing like the capitalistic
Yeah,
shtick.
it's not mainstream. It's not like publicly advertised.
So
It's-
and the fact that they were going to broadcast like and do like an underground TV broadcast, and the fact that they were actually
Maybe.
underground drove me crazy.
Maybe this just lends to it being satirical.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
They were just like, oh, what's the name for like an underground broadcast system? Someone was like, oh,
Underground.
The Underground. It's the same as like, yo, what's this unobtainable substance that the Na'vi have to get in Avatar? And James Cameron's like, I don't know, unobtainium.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's how one note that is.
Well, Cam.
Sorry. Sorry, I got fired. I said James Cameron's name.
I know, and you got all fired up.
And
now
I
there's
only
a bark.
and I only said the S word.
And now there's a freaking bark.
There's a bark. I didn't say anything else.
Okay.
I could have said so many other things.
That's true. You could have. So
Could have said you put the lotion in the basket.
You know what did bother me though? Not that they were underground. What bothered me is that Amber comes out and goes, "We're gonna show them this raw footage I have." Because here's the thing: she got caught finding that raw footage. So
Yeah.
when she got caught, do you think the person who caught her was just gonna go, "Yeah, you can just go ahead and keep that raw footage"?
What is this voice?
Yeah, pretty much.
I imagine that the guy is
Yeah,
stupid.
that's what he sounded like. He's got like an eye. The face you did made it sound like your eye was down here and like
Yeah.
your lips were up here, and you're like, I don't know.
just let her keep the raw footage, I guess.
But that like delineates itself to like the line that Arnold goes later. He's like, "Oh, would you keep that footage?" And she's like, "You'll never know."
Yeah,
Which
but
means she kept it in her vagina.
yeah, pretty much. Because where would you keep it in that suit?
In her vagina.
Yeah. Let's get her to be a drug mule.
Yes. She kept contraband in her vagina.
I
the
was
movie.
so upset when she pulled that out, though. Not literally. I didn't see her pull that.
Could you imagine she like reached her suit? She's like,
It might still play.
Looking for this.
But I was so upset because I'm like, there's no way. There's no way she would still have that. That they let her keep that.
no,
There's
she
no
kept it in
way.
her vagina, dude.
No, don't buy it.
It's nature's pocket.
So, nature's wallet. No. So they show they storm ICS. They take over. They show everyone the truth about what's going on with the uncensored
Kate has my
footage.
social security card in her vagina right now. For safety.
She had the same look on her face you had while watching this movie.
I know.
So they take over everything. They show that the world that, hey, ICS has been lying to you. They kill Killian. What do you know? Killian's been killed. And then Amber and Richards kiss and everything is fine. Oh, guess what? Actually, no, it's not, because everyone is screwed, because the only thing keeping this sad semblance of order and structure in place was the fact that the television companies ruled everything. And now that they're gone, the economy is going to collapse and the world will descend into chaos and anarchy.
Yeah.
So, not that happy of an ending, if you ask me.
It's really not. But
No.
it had a pretty bow on it.
It I guess.
There was a sunset and like they kissed.
I also don't like the fact that, I mean, I guess she didn't get to pick her name, but Maria Conchita Alonso is her name. That just sounds like the most fake, like, Hispanic stage name I've ever met.
It sounds like
in
the
my
guy was
life.
like, oh, he's like, oh, what's a Latinx name?
Maria.
Maria. Sick.
Yeah.
And then someone was like, what about Conchita? And he's like, oh, sick.
Yeah.
And then like last name, he's like, what? I don't know any Latinx last names. And someone was like, Juarez, and he's like, no, too racist.
No, I have an Italian friend whose last name is Alonso.
And
That's
he's like,
kinda
oh, sick,
Spanish.
Alonso.
Yeah.
And then he wrote it down. That's how that probably happened.
Yeah, so
Surprised
bad.
it wasn't Rodriguez.
It's basically her name was
So
probably
bad.
Maria Rodriguez in the first.
So that's the
iteration of
movie.
script.
That's the movie. We talked a long time about this movie. So I'm going to wrap it up real quick with fun facts.
Let's do it.
Fun facts.
Yes. I don't have a jingle for fun facts. I should.
Let's write one. We'll do it today. It'll take us 20 minutes.
Fun facts with everyone. So my fun facts.
because these facts are fun.
So when the rights were bought to the book, they actually had no idea it was Stephen King who wrote it.
Really?
Yeah.
They didn't
Didn't know
any
that.
research.
No research. Paula Abdul choreographed that dance number.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, looked like it. They all looked like Paula Abdul pretty much, like the jumpsuit thing she would be wearing.
Yeah, like that weird. Were you the one
80s
saying
thing.
that like the thing that made it between R and PG-13 is whether or not they wore leggings with that suit? If
Did
they
I
had
say that at one
yeah,
point?
I think you did. If they had,
Really?
if they had bare legs, it's what made it R. But if they wore tights with their weird leotard,
Interesting.
then it
Bare
was
legs and
PG-13.
fishnets. That's rated R.
Yeah, yeah.
Tights. You're good with PG-13.
Yeah, tights PG-13.
Yeah. Nah, sure, sounds good
With
to
like
me.
the most like camel toe-y suit in the universe.
Yeah, even I get a camel toe. So the guy who
Mammal
played
toe.
Dynamo actually was a classical opera singer.
Was he really? It
Yeah.
didn't sound like it.
Well, he was.
It's a loose term.
Yeah, yeah. So was Freddie Mercury.
The footage of the attacking helicopter is actually from the 1976 King Kong movie.
Is it really?
Just repurposed,
Really?
yeah. Also, can I just say, how did they get that footage? They show multiple times this footage of inside the helicopter.
Right.
What, did they just got like a GoPro hanging like outside the helicopter through the thing? Like,
So that was a point
what?
of contention for me too. Is that they were like, oh, we have this footage from inside the helicopter, and then they showed it, right? Like they had like the re-edited deepfake version,
Yeah.
right? But then when they showed the real version, it was the exact same cut that we got from the initial like opening of the movie.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, this is stupid. There's no way that this would be here and it would be cut together and there'd be all this thing. But then I started thinking, I was like, literally everything we do in 2019 is documented.
that's true.
So there's a chance.
There is a chance.
Because like officers have
But-
body cams, right?
but-
So there's a chance there's a helicopter cam.
on the TV, when they're showing him the real unedited version, they show Arnold being knocked out, point of view, with the butt of the gun.
Yes, which is the
He
exact
doesn't
same.
have his Google Glass
no,
on.
no.
I
he
can
doesn't.
tell you.
It's the exact same sequence that we had in the very beginning to make you feel like Arnold from the very point of view, right? Like you
Yes,
do that
but there's
POV
no
so
way-
you feel like the main character.
As watching the movie, that makes sense, but
Yes.
being replayed back
No.
doesn't make sense.
So they should have had a closed circuit camera of all of that happening,
Yeah,
and
they
that would have
should've.
been so much more
Also,
believable.
they messed up because in the very first scene, he goes, "I won't fire on harmless civilians,"
Yes.
and then in the second scene, at the very end of the movie, he says, "I won't fire on harmless people."
Yes, so they used two different takes
They
from
did.
that original take.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah. More things to talk about with Arnold's acting prowess is that there's no way that he could have said civilians that many times in
No.
a row. And so they
So
used
they
the
were like,
first
"Fine,
take.
Just say people.
Say people. Like they got the first one and they were like, all right, cool. Like after like take 24.
Yeah, they're like, he can't say the word.
Yeah, change it to people.
Right.
The game show voiceover guy, he's actually the same guy that voices Squidward.
Oh, sick.
How
what,
fun
really?
is that? Yeah, that's
like that.
fun. Also, did you guys wait till the end of the credits? Because I know you
Nope.
did.
No.
If you wait till the very end of the credits, he does a whole voiceover thing at the very end about like all the
Squidward
sponsors.
or Arnold?
The Squidward guy
Oh.
about all the people, the sponsors,
And he's like,
everything.
Running
and stuff
Man
like
is
that.
brought to you by
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, and it was actually pretty funny. Also,
Oh,
did you
okay.
notice that when Killian was in the production room at the very end of the, like near the end of the movie, when he says, "Consider yourselves all picked up for next season," if you
Yeah.
look at the screen behind him while the credits were running for the show, it was a bunch of just nonsense. It was like, I don't know where to go from here. Color space, Roy Biv and stuff like that. Like it was just like making like a bunch of nonsense, funny things in the background. and
funny.
stuff
I
like
didn't
that.
notice
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I don't remember specifically all it said, but when I was seeing it, I was like, oh, that's pretty hilarious that they're just writing nonsensical stuff back there on the credits of that.
I like that.
Yeah. ICS is the name of the company that made Skynet in Terminator 3.
Really?
Yeah.
So are they
Same
related?
universe?
They must be the same universe.
Is this an alternate reality for if Skynet won? And then John Connor ended up defeating the machines, and then this is the dystopian civilization afterwards.
And John Connor was Dweezil Zappa.
Dude.
There was a poster for Hate Boat in Killian's office, which
What?
is a nod to Love Boat that he was a guest star on.
and it says hate
It
boat.
says Hate Boat.
Wow. How
hate
boat. What? Also, so dumb.
Really dumb. And that's the end of my fun facts. So that was, yeah, we talked a long time about this movie. I did not think that we would go almost an hour.
Wow, I'm
on
surprised.
this movie.
I ranted quite a bit.
You did rant a bit, and I think there's a good 5 minutes at the beginning that we're cutting out of this. So maybe not a full hour, but still, yeah, that was
I
great.
think we talked about this more than we talked about Rocco
Yeah,
and
we
Dunstan.
did.
And
Yeah, it's
and
true.
rocket power.
Yeah,
Nothing puts a fire under my ass more than a terrible action film.
Yeah, what was it that made you choose this movie?
because I really wanted to watch it.
And it has man in it.
Yeah, it had, and it's because I knew it was one of the ones that was free for all of us to watch. It was an easy one to be
Yeah.
like, hey, just go on Vudu or go on Amazon Prime. It's both free there.
Yeah.
So if you want to watch this movie along with us and you have an Amazon Prime membership or a Vudu account,
You know
boom.
what? I think you should. I think it's worth the watch. I didn't like it at all. Like 0% liked it. However, worth the watch just to know what 80s quintessential action was.
Yeah.
So, like, as a filmmaker and a film historian, like, sure, cool. This is an important part of what movies were during
Yeah.
the time. Also, I hate it.
Yeah. Well, what can you do? You know what I really want to watch? So next week we're gonna watch Demolition Man because that won the
poll.
The poll. So it's like we're going from Arnold 80s to Sylvester Stallone 90s. Like, not much of a jump there.
And what is it, Wesley Snipes?
Yeah, Wesley Snipes is in it. And then the other two we're watching, which I'm calling Krager out right now. This douchebag isn't here because he says that he was gone this weekend. He's at our friend's house in town right now, drinking
What a
beers at a pool.
dick.
He's telling me he can't make it for the podcast. That dick.
So
He's
everyone
a
write
dickless-
into Krager about how bad of a podcaster he
at
is.
Krager32.
At Krager32.
Go tell him how bad of a podcaster
Send him a thing and tell him
he
that
is.
he's a terrible
And
podcaster.
I almost want to refuse him his request. He said he wanted Encino Man this month.
No.
The only reason why I'm still going to say we're doing Encino Man this month is because I want to do it. And because I know
Pauly
a lot
Shore.
of... And Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
And because I want a lot of that.
Buddy.
What up, bud?
So-
I found out my dad met Pauly Shore.
What?
Does
this
he talk
one
like
time
that?
in the 80s? Yeah, 100%. And
Oh, classic Pauly Shore.
Yes,
then, not
yes.
like the weird
no,
degraded
no,
version
no,
we have now
not
of
like
Pauly
drugged
Shore.
and sad.
Yeah.
Pauly Shore. My dad met him. They were like shooting a thing like near his house where he grew up, like in the early 80s,
Yeah.
right? So my dad was freshly graduated high school, and Pauly Shore walked up and was like, "What's up, buddy? Can you lean up on this little tree right here in the background?" And my dad was like,
Oh, that's so awesome.
I mean, all right. So, like, and my dad was like, never watched the movie. Don't know what movie it was for. I just leaned on a tree for a movie. So my dad's an extra somewhere.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
So Encino Man, and then the other one, just because so many people wrote in that they were upset it didn't get further in the poll, is Rocket Man. Not the one with
funny one.
the funny one where he farts in the spacesuit.
Yeah. No,
That's
that
the only
was
part I
Julie.
remember.
That's actually one of Krager's favorite movies.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah.
Like, the guy that doesn't show up to the podcast, like, I'm going to rib him a little bit. His taste in cinema is barking
It's
atrocious.
farting atrocious.
It is
It's
so
on par
atrocious.
with his taste for 7-Eleven taquitos.
Yes, and football teams. And everything else. Like, oh my goodness, the only good decision he has ever made is dating Morgan. Like, Morgan is incredible. I love Morgan. If Krager wasn't my friend, Morgan would be my friend. And oh my goodness, Krager, yeah, you've been giving me for the past few weeks. It's fine. This is at the end. No one cares. And Krager's been giving me a whole bunch of flack for the past few weeks, making fun of my MFA, a whole bunch of blowing up, son.
Oh, no.
Here we go. Here we go.
It's so funny.
Yeah, and I could throw farther than you.
Yeah.
It's so funny because when I lived with them and we, Kevin and I would be talking about things, Krager would be like, "What are you talking about?" He had no idea. And we're like, "Oh, Krager, so uncultured."
Yeah. And the funny thing is, Krager won't even hear any of this because he doesn't listen to our podcast anymore.
Krager is a good guy that grew up with SoCal bros and has bro tendencies, but has a good heart.
Yeah.
Unlike all the other bros. So he's supremely
Yeah, I was surprised
uncultured.
when I met him that he didn't have a race truck and wore a backwards monster hat.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah. He should
Anyway.
be wearing bro tanks everywhere with like a tribal tattoo. Pew.
Well, anyway, on that, here's our outro. Yeah. There's an Instagram and Twitter at WreckMyPodcast. We have an email, wreckmypodcast@gmail.com. Go give us a review. If you give us a review, we'll send you a sticker. It's simple as that. You can support us financially by going to wreckmypodcast.com and either using our Amazon link, going to our Redbubble store, or going to our Patreon. Patreon.
With a Patreon.
If you even throw us $1, you'll get access to all our exclusive content, which is awesome, so go check that out. We want to thank Ben from Petrified Gumbo Music for making our amazing intro song, as well as, I think he orchestrated this song.
Yeah, I think he did.
The Ride of Valkyries, yeah. He's an old guy. So go to Petrified Gumbo Music if you need some compositions made. We have episodes like this come out every Wednesday. Like I said, Wednesday next week is Demolition Man. For $1 a month on our Patreon, you can get Wreck My Patreon, where we have that come out on Fridays. We'll probably do a Wreck My Taste Bud either this week or next week on Saturday. It'll be cool.
Nice.
This is getting really
It's
intense.
so nuts. This is crescendo.
Yeah, it's crescendoing on my plug. Every Monday we have a round table. That's fun to do. Go check that out. Thank you to my guests for being here. Not
Anytime.
Krager.
Yeah, Krager.
And finally,
Nerd.
thank you to our listeners. I love getting wrecked with you.
All right, bye. I love you. Happy Orgasm Month, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Is that this month?
Yeah, you have to have an orgasm every day of the month.
Yeah.
So every month is orgasm. I like and I love you all. That was Krager.
I am the running man. I like to run in a Hawaiian shirt with my white pants.
Super avant-garde.
Whatever that is.
If you
It's when you
Do it.
pull your sword out and you're about ready to
On guard.
avant-garde.
Avant-garde.
I mean, I already told you about abstract expressionism. Do you
Yeah,
want me to
from
tell you about avant-garde?
1946 to 1949.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to read the introduction real quick here. Don't run away from this one, or your head might explode. We kick off Man Month with the 80s dystopian film that reminds us Arnold will always be Arnold. Will it wreck the 80s?
Lol.
Spoiler
Carry
alert.
on.
Yes, it did wreck the
It did.
80s.
Carry on. Here's Sub-Zero. Now Plane Zero.
Oh my god.
So good.
I was watching this thing where it's like, do you think they realize that Plane Zero is probably higher than Sub-Zero?
Yeah, seriously though. I'm like, Sub-Zero is cool. Plane Zero is dumb. Anyway, let's talk about this movie.
The Governor versus the Governor. The
Oh
movie?
my gosh, I know. Seriously though.
Yeah.
Except
So many
they
governors
never,
in this
They
movie. There's so
never
many
really got
governors.
to fight.
No.
No, it was dumb. I need to check something real quick.
Go for it.
Because I just realized I didn't turn airplane mode on my phone, and I'm hoping that just didn't stop the
Okay.
recording.
Okay.
Why, did you get something?
I got a notification.
I saw him look at his watch and then got panicky.
Okay, we're good.
We're still good.
Let's hope it doesn't happen.
We're still
Okay.
running.
Or the YouTube version is going to have a lot of darkness.
Jordan, you were just the running man.
I was the running man.
Yeah.
So
This is what the popular dance is based off of, guys.
Yeah.
okay.
Need a lift.
Need a light. That wasn't even Arnold. That was just me going need a light. So anyway, Luke.
Hello there. I'm the Governor, also known as the Gummy Bear of Candiconia. First off, I'd like to implement new rules. There must be a new gym in every city of the great state of California. It'll be called 25-Hour Fitness for 1 extra hour of working out. Anyway, here in my home city, I've been able to find some wonderful musicians with whom I will present my music to the masses. Some of you know my movies with stunning images and powerful emotions portrayed by none other than me, Mr. Universe, and the greatest actor in the world. I will now attempt a recorded audio format to communicate some of the deep feelings I had while filming the classics like Kindergarten Cop, The Terminator, Total Recall, and The Terminator. Thank you for giving me your time, your clothes, and your motorcycle. Now listen up, everyone. This next one's called No! Yeah. Come on, guys. You're supposed to come in already. Where's the drummer? Yeah, it's so embarrassing. 1, 2, 3. Come to the chopper! Escape begins! Get to the chopper! It's the only way out of